guys, this is Kyle with Lone Peak. Welcome to Lone Peak Labs. This is our first concept of Hotbox, Lone Peak's own in-house diesel heater. So you might be wondering why a diesel heater? There's a lot of propane heaters on the market. You can go pick up a Mr. Buddy from Home Depot for $100 to $200. They're cheap, they take the edge off, but they produce a ton of condensation, which is not fun. It'll make your camper plenty wet on the inside. You have another type of propane heater, which is kind of a high-end, like Dickinson, that you use inside of a sailboat. They actually vent out a lot of the exhaust and the condensation, so it produces dry heat. These are actually pretty awesome, but they're $2,000 to $3,000, which is out of my budget and out of a lot of our customers' budgets. So diesel heaters have hit the market since a lot of the patents have expired. China started producing them in mass as parking heaters, and they are very effective. They produce dry heat. They are fairly efficient, and they are budget friendly. You guys might be wondering, why are we making our own diesel heater? Well, there's a number of answers for that. I know there's a ton of options for these things on Amazon, which you can go buy for $100, $200, hook it up to our diesel heater port and run it, and that could work totally fine for you. But here are the reasons why we made our own. Number one is that we have a thermostat. If you guys purchase a Lone Peak camper and you have the diesel heater port, it has this little silver thing on top that is a thermostat that will work hand in hand with our diesel heater, meaning you have closed loop heating control, just like you have in your house. So you set a temperature, the diesel heater turns on, runs at full power until you reach that temperature, and then it works to stay at that temperature for as long as it can. It's pretty simple. So most diesel heaters work on a hertz setting, which is basically sending a pulse command to the fuel pump. And it's basically every second that it's ticking fuel. And so if you want it to be warmer, you just increase the hertz setting, which increases the fan speed and your fuel pump, and you get a little bit warmer. So our heater will have both options. So if you're using this and you don't have a Lone Peak camper, you can still use our heater, and you just set it to low, medium, high settings. But if you have a camper, you have a fully integrated thermostat solution. Second reason why we're making the heater is user interfaces. I love designing really simple to use user interfaces. If you guys have ever looked at a diesel heater controller straight from China, it is hard to understand what is going on. They're getting better. Some of their apps are getting better, but you kind of need to be a DIY guru to figure it out, how to turn it on, how to program it. These things do need to be tuned for the air-fuel ratio based on elevation. So that's a manual setting in most diesel heaters that you have to figure out how to access and get into, and what password to enter. Like, trust me, there's a lot of crazy stuff here. Our heater is gonna work using what we're calling the leech. So we literally have our own circuit board that we're piggybacking onto a diesel heater circuit board so that we can control it over a Bluetooth app. And this basically gives us all the controls to the ECU, the fan speed, the glow plug power, really all the things that just makes it our own, and we can control it. That means we can set the air-fuel mixture automatically based off of the GPS data in your phone. So you don't have to tune this thing on your own. It will auto-tune using our app. The other thing is that a lot of these heaters you're just buying off Amazon have no support. So our plan with our diesel heater is that we are importing the actual diesel heater components from China like everyone else. But we're buying the highest quality components and doing all the upgrades that you see on YouTube of how to make your diesel heater more quiet, how to make it more efficient. We're doing all that research for you. And the thing about Hotbox that's pretty cool is it's an all-in-one solution. So we have all these hoses that are actually built into the diesel heater. So this is a little bit bigger than most diesel heaters. But what we did is that we're trying to make it really fast to set up, because when you want to set up a heater, it's most likely like this, and it's cold and you're tired and you just want to get the heat on and go to bed. So I don't want to have to fiddle with different hoses and assemble something when I'm cold. So this makes it a little bit longer, but that actually allows us to fit more fuel in and make the fuel tank bigger. All right, the last couple of reasons why we wanted to make our own is that I want a larger fuel tank. A lot of these heaters come with a 1, maybe 2 gallon fuel tank, which that lasts you maybe a night and a half. I want to be able to go out for a weekend and not have to bring a separate fuel canister with me. 3 gallons will let me keep this thing on comfortably for 2 nights. Give me you guys feedback on this. Go onto the blog and let me know. We have a bunch of different questions on there that we'd love you guys feedback on. That is one of them. And the last reason why we made this thing is that it's just a seamless integration. Again, I'll show you in a second. These magnetically attach onto the diesel heater port. It sets up really fast, and the user experience is quite nice. Before we get over here, I'm gonna do a quick run around on this thing to kind of show you the basic components, and then I'll show you how to mount it. This thing is a prototype. There are a few things on it that I need to change. One of them is that the hoses, to be able to reach, they don't actually fully go back in to the heater itself. And they do have magnets on here to attach to the body, but because they don't go in all the way, they just kind of sag, kind of sad looking like that. But that's not how the production version is gonna go. So we have our grab handles on here. Let me show you guys. So the intake is on the bottom back here. We have a muffler built into this. For the intake, we also have a muffler on the bottom, which is external for your exhaust so that it's a lot quieter. And then we're just using our standard ladder brackets to actually hang this onto the side of your camper with some rubber grommets to make sure that you don't scratch your camper up. Let me show you how this thing works. All right, so like I said, you could put this on the ground, but if you actually want to use the recirc vents that are built into the tent, we're just going to lift this up and hook it on just like this. We're working on the hose mount down here. Is designed to, on the final version, everything will be mounted underneath. And then when you actually get to camp, you'll loosen this up and then point your exhaust away from your camper. All right, next up, we're gonna attach our connection cable here. Route this up to the diesel heater. Then we have a magnetic quick connection that goes onto the diesel heater port. This is our recirculation vent, which basically draws air from your tent. Push that inside. It's waterproof. This makes your heater way more efficient because you're heating up hot air from your tent instead of cold air just from the outside. All right, we're gonna go ahead and turn heater on JuiceBox. That's gonna give power to our heater. Now we can get it started with our app. We're gonna turn it on and see what happens. All right, so that's the general setup of the diesel heater. We're inside, out of the wind, getting warm. Let me know what you guys think. Again, go to the blog, let us know your thoughts. We're super early in the development on this thing. Let us know your feedback on the app design and what you guys want out of a diesel heater, because honestly, this whole thing is about making products that you guys love and will use and will fuel your adventure in the outdoors. Thanks for watching. You guys might be asking the question, why a diesel heater? Well, for days like this, when you're sitting on a mountain, freezing your butt off, talking about a diesel heater, that's really when you want one. It's cold. The short answer is that most diesel heaters that you get from China just suck. Their user interface is terrible. It's awful to figure out how to even turn the thing on. How do you reprogram it? How do you change the heat setting? It's in hertz. What is even a hertz? I know, but do you know what a hertz is?